Okay, guys. What I'm going to talk about is a little personal. I went through a lot of domestic violence growing up. My parents always fighting me, having to listen to it. Got to the point where, when I was 8 years old, I actually watched my dad push mom off of the porch to the point where she had to go to the hospital get stitches in her hand. It's kind of a traumatic experience because I always thought my mom and dad loved each other a lot, and I seen my dad push my mom off the porch, and I didn't really know what to think of that. I mean, I always thought that that wasn't love, and I knew that my mom should get away from him. Despite my efforts, she did stay with him. I think mainly it was for us kids, and she was afraid that we were going to grow up without a dad. So I think that's kind of where we stood. But let me tell you, I just had so many nights where I would listen to them fighting. I would have to get abused as well because I would get in the middle of my mom and dad fighting all the time. Or my dad would be mad at me and throw me against the doors and left me with a babysitter that my mom trusted, and she dragged me up the stairs. It got to the point where my dad even told me that he didn't want to have a daughter anymore. I mean, it hurt a lot because I was old enough to remember it. I still remember it to this day, and I think that's kind of the reason why me and my dad aren't as close as we could be. I mean, you think I would have learned from my mom's mistakes, right, guys? But unfortunately, I didn't. I fell in the same patterns as her with my relationships. It's kind of something that I promised I wouldn't ever do. But I went into the military after high school when I graduated, and I met this really wonderful guy. I got married to him when I was 19. We had my daughter. I mean, all relationships, it starts out fine, right? Well, then they slowly started to get worse. We had a local card shop here in town, and he'd always go to the card shop every night and just slowly stopped paying attention to me. I mean, I dealt with it for 3 years, I think mainly because I wanted my daughter to have a father figure there, and I just was afraid of being alone, which I think a lot of women suffer from. I mean, I finally I got divorced, and I was alone for quite a while, and I decided I was gonna get back together with this other guy that I knew from high school. Moved out of my parents' house and in with his parents. I was basically working for them though. I didn't even have enough to buy myself a stick of deodorant or shampoo, toilet paper, any feminine hygiene products. Sorry. And every day that I would get home from work, I'd have to watch my kids until they went inside. Half the time I wouldn't even get dinner, or if I did, it would be cold. And to catch you guys up, yes, I did have a kid with this guy. I mean, I know I probably shouldn't have, but since my son was his and my daughter wasn't, my son would get favored a lot. My daughter wouldn't, as far as him getting dessert, her not, him getting a toy, her not. It was just constant. And, I mean, she would get abused. My son wouldn't. You know, I tried to step in multiple times, but then it just ended up in me getting abused too. For so many years, I kept thinking that there was no way I could get away from them. They'd follow me. They'd put me in a hospital bed. I would lose my son. I'd have to get the cops involved. And just finally, I just got to the point where I just I had enough. And I just finally had enough courage to get away from them. I mean, I did have to call the cops to get out, as well as fighting a nasty custody battle for my son, which I'm still fighting for. But for those that are wondering, I do have my son 50% of the time. Right now, I'm trying to work to getting him for the week and him having him on the weekends, but due to my position, that's what I'm at right now. I can tell you this much though, I am a lot happier that I got away from the violence. So anyone that is experiencing something similar to my story, or just having violence, regardless of whether it's your boyfriend, family members, or whoever, I've been there. And feel free to talk to me. I'll be a listening ear and definitely non-judgmental. Because trust me, I know it's hard whenever you have kids and nowhere to go, or you feel like you don't have anywhere to go and no one to listen to. And, you're in between of the loving them and just wanting to leave stage. I've been there, trust me. So, I hope you guys like the video. I hope that it helps you guys a lot, of people that are experiencing domestic violence, regardless of how old you are or who it is. Like I said, feel free to message me or leave a comment down below. Good night, guys.